goodness, that was interesting.
What the fuck, Hoji? You're one of the ancients? Why didn't you tell me? You created the Whisperers.
Hold on there now. No need to be an accusatory, Adam. I invented those things, but as far as I know, I only made one. Enro made his own later. I'm not responsible for my brother's action.
Your brother?
They're, all these ancients, they're all my brothers. There wasn't a good time to bring it up.
Why did you create these whisper things?
That's the brilliant trick I played on myself. The memory of why I did it is locked inside the whisperer I made. It's really quite clever.
Sure. Genius.
Hey, we all make mistakes, okay? I crippled my memories. You work for a sociopath megalomaniac who sold the human race up the river. Can we call it even?
I need to get to Zilla, and I don't think I can do it without you. But you try anything, and I will stab this goddamn sword through your heart.
I appreciate you being direct.
Take a freaking lesson.
Being direct makes me gassy.
Just shut up for a minute, okay?
Enra needs the Nobutsuru Kage to sacrifice one of his own. He's trying to awaken the girl.
I could give a shit what he wants. You fuck with my realm, you fuck with me.
And after that series of delightful revelations, welcome back to Shadow Warrior. First I need to set a couple things straight. It turns out I made a mess of the katana upgrades in both video and thread. So, to clarify, the first one we got from Gozu's Whisperer was called Leather Tsuka, so I'm assuming it's hilt wrapping.
Holy pieces of sacks of shit! What is this?
The outer gates. Mezu is charged with guarding them.
Against what?
Hell if I know. I don't think even Mezu knows. Enra's orders.
Yes sir, no sir, 3 bags full sir?
Exactly.
Now Mezu's Whisperer has graciously gifted us with the ancient Tsuba, which adds a chance to heal us on every katana strike.
Up there. There he is.
He's sleeping?
What do you expect? He's a guardian. Start opening the gate. That'll piss him off. Pick a seal.
Now, Mezu is probably my favorite boss fight in the game, despite being the easiest, but that's mostly on the account of his looks and the looks of his stage. Now, as Hoji repeatedly tells us, we need to draw Mezu in first, and we achieve that by standing on one of the seals. Now, while we try to do this, Mezu will be constantly firing off fireballs in various patterns at us, but those are fairly weak and easily dodged. Worst case scenario, you step off the seal. After Mezu joined us in the arena, he's got about 3 different attacks. That is in addition to his projectile spamming. 2 of his attacks are the same as Gozu's. He can summon explosions, except this time they are lightning, and he can just smash his spear at us. His final attack, which he sadly stubbornly refuses to do in this run, is taking to the sky and swooping across the platform.
Yes, he really likes this gate closed.
Yeah, isn't it great?
I'm using the rocket launcher here because it's bar none the best weapon for breaking off his armor. It is however not the best weapon to damage his crystals, because those have a lot more health and a lot smaller hitbox. Also, I did not buy the upgrade that would allow me to guide the missiles, and that's going to bite me in the ass like drone in this fight. Thankfully it's not a big deal. As I said, Mezu is probably the easiest boss, and that's because all of his attacks are incredibly predictable. Now, on the second and third seals, the frequency at which he attacks increases. So theoretically, you should be dodging around a lot more than you would be on hard difficulties, but here the damage of the fireballs is kinda low, and they have kind of a weird detection where they only really damage you if they hit you on that center of wang. Also, rockets, incredibly precious and incredibly dickishly placed. Before this happened, I was actually rather tempted to stay here and just grab all the rockets I could until I was maxed out. Now you see that Mezu has started chaining his attacks. This is what happens after you break his first crystal. It's not much of an issue because it's still all heavily telegraphed, but he can catch you off guard. Honestly, the biggest danger in this fight is being so focused on Mezu you just manage to drop off the platform. Also, PDW is still the best boss gun weapon in the game.
I'm back here!
Work on these seals, Lo Wang. Pressure!
I don't think he gets any faster for the last seal, but I could be wrong there. It's kind of hard to tell, honestly. Now, while we do have a bit of a breather, because after all we do have to stand on that thing, let's talk a bit about the artistic design of Gozu and Mezu, because they are actually buddies from mythology. In Chinese folklore, They are demons that guard the underworld, and they're called Axehead and Horseface. Gozu, as a matter of fact, is a Japanese translation of the word, so I'm assuming it's the same with My Little Pony here. It's kind of interesting that it plays, on the whole, we do not really differ between Chinese and Japanese mythology thing that the original Shadow Warrior had, especially considering, if you remember, that the third ancient is called Xing, which, to me at least, sounds Chinese as fuck. Anyway, now that we've broken all 3 seals, the gate starts to open, and Matsu can't let that stand. So yeah, he'll start to force it closed, and we have to shoot his wings. And this is where using the rocket launcher bites me in the ass, because I managed to miss the 2 rockets. And with them, my opportunity to actually harm him. So this is what happens if you fuck up. All the 3 seals relight, but thankfully it only takes a fraction of time it got to open them originally. It's still kind of annoying, or it would be, if it didn't give me another opportunity to scavenge for precious ammo. That has the nasty habit of disappearing right in front of one. Now, I said before that Maz was my favorite boss fight, and here's why. Apart from the really damn pretty looks of the arena and his armor, I think it's because his fight is rather involved. Apart from the whole glowing weak point thing that's pretty much the conventional way of dealing with giant monsters like this, the seals give a sort of a puzzle element to it. This, in addition to his pretty big amount of attacks, keeps the fight fresh and varied, which is a godsend when you're fighting him on the insane and this thing takes 30 to 40 minutes. Anyway, we clipped his wings, and so we get to the final phase of his fight, which is pretty much a fair duel. His attacks do the most damage here, but they're fairly easy to avoid, and he only has 1 crystal, and it's in a spot that's pretty easy to hit. Also, unlike Gozu, he doesn't really cover himself in any way while he's stunned, leaving him wide open. So our trusty submachine guns and considerably less trusty rockets will make short work of him. The boss fights in this game are not particularly challenging, but I'm still glad they are there. Especially in this day and age of replacing giant monsters with tiny quick-time events.
Surprise!
Hoji, you maggot, what are you doing here?
Burrowing, dear brother. Just like a maggot should.
We're here to harvest information, and maybe a little cheat.
You can tell that thing that I refuse to dignify the awful that pours from his mouth. You spit in Enra's face, bringing him here.
You don't say! Why, it's almost like that was my intention all along.
You use this filth to do your dirty work. Enra made the same mistake. These mortals can't be trusted.
So Enra has been talking to a mortal.
Zilla, it has to be.
I always knew he would fail us. But I didn't think he would be so arrogant to hold Xing's Whisperer for ransom.
And that's why the others couldn't come back. Hey kid, looks like your boss did good.
It also sounds like he made a deal with the devil.
Details.
I think it's time to go have a chat with Zilla. You know, filth to filth.
Lie back and think of England, brother. Family, what are you gonna do?
A portal to Zilla. Now.
Coming right up. If Zilla has the last whisperer, this should lead us straight to him.
No tricks this time, right?
Wouldn't dream of it.
Join me next time for what's probably the worst fucking level in the entire game. I've been Annihilated, this has been Shadow Warrior, signing off.